Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got how to make +1 speed. Yeah, whatever it's called, I don't know. But anyway, welcome back. So I'm so sorry to you guys for the late, for how long it took me. I know a lot of people were anticipated and excited for a part. I think, yeah, part three and stuff. I do apologize for the wait. Again, I will not have videos take that long and stuff. I was busy, not locked in. But don't worry, I got you guys and stuff. So, this is a simple video. I added treadmills and stuff. It's simple. I don't know why this shit took me forever, but it did. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. So we're adding treadmills into this part, right? I'm gonna add the level system and like the whole XP and like with the UI where you can see like what level you are with your speed and everything in the next video. I know a lot of people want to see that, so don't worry, that's coming. So let me know what else you guys want to see and just what else you guys want to see and just any other like if you find any bugs or anything of the sorts, even other games you just want to see. So first things first, we're gonna need to adjust the map just a little bit. So we're starting at level 1. Let's adjust platform 1, or at least that's what it's called for me. So I know in the game there are treadmills like in the spawn areas. I'm just gonna add a treadmill here. So it's gonna be another folder, just like how we do everything else. So let me insert the folder, right? And then we're just gonna call it treadmills. Then I'm gonna insert a part into said folder, right? We're gonna scale it out to just be a kind of rectangle. So this is our supposed treadmill. I'm gonna make it nice and brown, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. So treadmill, right? You guys can put all the detail and effort you want into it and stuff, right? So we have our treadmill part. I'm gonna anchor it, right? You're gonna insert a number value into it. This is going to be the treadmill speed. So this is going to be how much the player will gain per second for walking on it and stuff, right? So I'm set this to 1 because I know there are different types of treadmills and stuff. Like some give you +1, others, or I think it's +2, or some give you like +5, +10. I think that's how that works, but you guys get the point. Oh, I gave it an extra T by mistake. But yeah, so this is treadmill speed, and then we of course need a hitbox, right? So let's go ahead and let's insert a hitbox so that we can detect when the player is inside. So what you're going to do is you're just going to want to scale it around. So you can set the transparency to be like 0.5. And then you essentially just want to scale it around said part. And then when the player is within this area, they will be able to run on the treadmill. Okay, cool. So we're just going to boom, scale it like that. And then obviously you want to account for when they're jumping. So just scale it up pretty high and stuff. Maybe it wouldn't even need to be that high for it, but yeah, you just want to account for like if they jump up or something, they can still it still counts. And then yeah, boom. Once you've done that, what you're going to simply do is you're going to just anchor it. Disable can collide. Of course, let's make this invisible. And then we could just rename this to be hitbox. Boom. Very simple, right? We're done setting that up. Now onto the coding. Now I do want to make something clear. I do have a run animation. You guys do not need an animation for this and stuff. I feel like it just looks better and it's easier to test when you do have an animation. If you don't know how to get animations, go to the toolbox, find animation. If you don't know how to like find them, how to publish them and all that, I have videos. Just leave a comment below and I will reply with the video and whatnot so you can see how to find animations, publish them, and then get their ID and stuff because you can't use my ID. It's not gonna work for you guys and stuff, right? But yeah, so you're gonna get your run animation, right? Then we're gonna open the local script, right? And then what we're going to do is we are going to create a variable at the top just like we did with the keys. We're gonna say treadmills is equal to workspace with child treadmills, right? Then what we're gonna do is we're going to go down. I believe this is I don't even know what this is. Oh yeah, this is before the speed stuff. So right before the speed stuff, right here, we're going to create a variable for the run service. We're going to say rs is equal to game get service run service. Cool. Right. Then we're going to set up the treadmill stuff with the client side version of it. Right. The speed increase will be handled on the server side, whereas the animation will obviously be played on the client side. So I pairs we will say treadmills get children enter. Then of course this means that V is a treadmill, right? Create a variable for the animation track, set it to nil by default, and then we'll set up our function. So we will say rs.heartbeat. This is pretty much like this function is called every time, like on every heartbeat, which is essentially like I believe it's every frame. So it's similar to a while loop, but a little different. Then we will connect it function, close parentheses, enter. Create a variable for the player's character. So player.character. We'll get the size of the hitbox. So treadmill.hitbox.size, and then we will calculate the relative position, which is equal to treadmill.hitbox my bad, wrong thing, dot C-frame point to object space in parentheses put character dot humanoid root part dot position, right? Then we will create the stuff we need for this. So we will say on treadmill, this is essentially our check. So on treadmill is equal to enter, right? From here, you will. I feel like I'm missing. Oh my bad. Oh my bad. Oh wait. That's supposed to say. Sorry, it's supposed to say hitbox size is equal to. I don't know why I forgot that. But anyway, so then you go right here. Then we can just say math.abs. We can say relative position dot x is less than hitbox size dot x divided by 2, and this pretty much is a whole bunch of if statements in a sense. Math.abs relative position dot y, and then I'm pretty sure you guys see the reoccurring theme here. I don't know why it keeps trying to autocorrect to that. Boom. Relative position dot z is less than hitbox size dot z divided by 2, right? Then from there, we will then say if player dot on treadmill, which is a value we're going to create on the server side, dot value is equal to true and at is equal to no, which means the player is on the treadmill, but the animation isn't playing. Then of course we're going to play the animation. So at is equal to player dot character dot humanoid dot animator load animation. In parentheses, you're going to put script.run animation, so the animation we got. And then, of course, you're going to play said animation. So play, right? And then you're going to throw another if statement right after. You're then going to say if player dot on treadmill dot value is equal to false and at is not equal to no. That means the animation track needs to be stopped. So we will say at stop. Enter. Then we will set the animation track to nil. Right? Very cool. Then we can now move on to the server script. So let's open up the server script, right? At the top, we're going to do the same thing. So let's just go back to local script, just copy and paste the treadmill variable, copy, paste, boom, right? Then what we need to do is we need to add another for loop, just like with the win parts and the kill zones. We're going to add it right here. This will be for the treadmills, right? So we'll say for I, comma v in I pairs, treadmills, get children, create a variable for the treadmill itself. So treadmill is equal to v. Then we will say treadmill dot hitbox dot touched connect function in parentheses put hit, enter. Let's say we will then say if hits dot parent find first child in quotation marks humanoid. That means it's most likely a player, but of course we need to check. So we will then create a variable for a potential player is equal to game dot players find first child hit dot parent dot name. Then we'll say if player and player dot on treadmill dot value is equal to false, which means they're not on the treadmill. Then we'll update it accordingly. On treadmill on treadmill dot value is equal to true. And then of course we will increase their speed. We will say what should we call it? So long as they are on the treadmill, we will increase their speed. So we will say task dot spawn, right? Function close parentheses enter. Then you'll say while player dot on treadmill dot value is equal to true, enter. Then player dot on walk pull down dot value is equal to true. And then we will increase their speed. We will say player dot leader stats dot speed dot value. I do want to clarify something. Like how I'm increasing the speed by 2, obviously in an actual game you would not want to do this because players would become too fast too quickly. In the actual game it's probably more like the formula is probably more like 0.01, kind of thing. You want to gradually increase your speed, but not too much too quickly. These are just test numbers I'm throwing out. You guys can set the numbers to whatever you want it to be. That's completely optional. This is just what I'm doing for demonstration purposes. But yeah, then we'll say player dot character dot humanoid dot walk speed is equal to player dot leader stats dot speed dot value. Then we will of course have a delay, task that wait 1 second, to then take the player off of walk cooldown, right? Very cool, okay. And then we of course need the end, so we're just gonna go all the way, so second to last end, and then of course we just need the complete opposite for when they get off. So we will say treadmill dot hitbox dot touch connect function in parentheses put hit if hit the parents find first child in quotation marks humanoid, enter, same thing, see if we can find the player, bam, and okay, boom. If we find the player and player dot on treadmill dot value is set to true, then we will update it accordingly. So we will set on treadmill dot value equal to false. Okay, cool. All right, then what we'll do is we'll scroll down to our leader stats. We of course need to create the on treadmill as well as the on walk cooldown booleans. These are to keep track of obviously when you're on cooldown. So we can just copy and paste wins. So copy wins, paste that twice. So for the first thing, we have on treadmill, which will keep track of whether or not the player is on a treadmill. So then we will copy, paste, 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 paste. These are both going to be bool values, by the way. And then its value by default should be set to false. And then parent this to the player, not leader stats. Then for the second one, we have on walk cooldown. Then we can copy again, paste, 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 paste. This is a bool value. And then on walk cooldown should be set to false by default. And then of course just reparent this to the player. Right? Very cool. Then we can adjust this function as need be. So we don't need this part right here. We can actually replace this since we now have an actual variable. We now have an actual value, I should say, inside of the player that will keep track of whether or not they're on cooldown. So we can just say on walk cooldown, that value is equal to false. We can just say that, and then we need to add a check here. So we will say and on walk cooldown, that value is equal to false. And on treadmill, this is very important, that treadmill is equal to false, because obviously you don't want them to be getting plus speed from walking on the treadmill and just walking in general at the same time, right? That's not how that should work. Then of course we update on walk cooldown dot value. Then just do the same thing here. Just copy and paste, right? And then boom, just like that, guys, we are done. Let's go ahead and test to make sure everything works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, including this one, just read the description. Okay, it seems I made a mistake. Oh, my bad, guys. Okay, literally just change this. I meant to put parent, but put two N's by mistake. But yeah, so if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, just simply read the description to find out how to gain access to that. Just read the description and you'll find out. Okay, so as you can see, we are experiencing an issue that is fantastic. Okay, I already see the problem. So go to the local script. Make sure you spelled load animation right. This is the second time I've messed up to where I spelled something wrong. So make sure you're spelling things right. It's because the problem is I typed too fast. So yeah, so make sure it says load animation, not animation or whatever that says. So then, okay, we will gather up our speed. And as you can see, while I'm on the treadmill, as you can see, I'm obviously gaining speed way too quickly and stuff. That's why you obviously don't do +2 speed and stuff like that. You guys would definitely want to set this to like 0.01 or something much more realistic, because obviously this is insane and stuff, right? But as you can see, I'm getting speed. The running animation is playing. If I get off the treadmill, for some reason I'm still gaining the speed. What in the world? Strange, very strange. Treadmill to hitbox. Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. This is supposed to be touch ended. I put the same function. Sorry, it's supposed to be touch ended. That's what it's supposed to be. Touch ended. Okay, that's my bad, guys. Guys, it's 3 in the morning. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to get these videos recorded before I leave in the morning. So I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna get back on the treadmill. We are getting okay. There we go. Okay, this actually makes more sense because in my head I'm like, see, that's exactly why you need to make sure the cooldown is active, and we need to check first so that that doesn't happen to prevent us from gaining speed too fast. As you can see, I'm on the treadmill. I'm gradually gaining speed at a much more realistic pace than whatever the hell that was before. But yeah, and then if I get off the treadmill, off the treadmill, the animation stops playing, and I'm not getting any more speed until I start walking, right? And then obviously I could get back on the treadmill, but as you can see, I've kind of fallen off, so it's fine. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was treadmills and stuff. Don't worry, I definitely have more parts of this series coming. I know a lot of people are enjoying the series. I apologize again for the late delay. I promise next videos will come out much quicker next weekend, by next weekend, the latest, and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know whatever else you guys want to see, any bugs you guys find and whatnot. If you're enjoying the series, and for sure, just let me know. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next video. Thank you for watching.